Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us and IndyWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you rather do, make it last. Wait for the perfect.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show 867. We got the number right this week. Tuesdays, we would talk about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And this is the podcast not brought to you by Manscaped. We'll get into that later. We have with us, first of all, from an undisclosed location in somewhere in upstate New York, is Mad Mike, the only Mayhemmer with a future endeavor letter from the WWE.
Hi, Sork. My back has been on fire all day today, so if I'm extra salty, blame the ramblings of an old man.
What?
An old man, Sork.
Okay. What happened to the shelf behind you? I didn't catch this on the pre-show.
Oh, yeah, those pops that were there, those
yeah.
are my wife's pops.
Yes.
I have cleared them out. At some point, I will be organizing the back behind me because I have all these DVDs that have to get realphabetized.
Okay. Oh, so you're gonna have a project. Okay.
Oh yeah. I need like a day.
Mike is if for those that maybe new first timers or anything, Mike has recently moved into his first house.
The first house of my name on the morning.
Yes. Okay.
I've lived in houses before.
His first mad house. That is his.
We're just gonna call this the Madhouse.
Yeah. Welcome to the Madhouse.
The Madhouse of Extreme.
Yes.
The Madhouse of Mayhem.
Yes. Oh,
I like
that.
Doctor Strange. It's Doctor Strange in the Madhouse of Mayhem.
I like it.
All right.
We also have a very special guest with us this evening, fellow video production head, and we're popping his podcast cherry tonight. I understand, Henry Jasper of the I know from Warrior Wrestling, amongst other things. How you doing, Henry?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me. I just want everybody to know they have my full consent to pop whatever cherry needs to happen tonight. So
there you go.
So yeah, thank you, Mike. Just be gentle. Sorg, thank you for recording the whole thing. So
yes, we got some special stuff on Patreon. So we have to mention, first of all, Henry, he video professional. Okay, the audio currently is not representative of his usual product. There's some technical issues and some damaged equipment. I understand. So we're rolling with it though, because it's showtime and we got to do a live, baby.
Yeah. I tried 4 setups. This is not what we do, okay?
Yeah.
But we're just going for it. I shaved my beard, though, so whatever.
There you go. Guessing enough for this. You knew this was a video podcast, so. But we're going to be talking. Yeah, we're going to geek out a little bit about video production, and you got a great new podcast project coming up here. So that I'm very excited for is definitely warms my heart that is happening here. But in the meantime, what also warms my heart is all of you guys listening to the Wrestling Mayhem Show or joining us live here on a Tuesday night, as you will. We're, of course, and this is the Awesome Cast notes. That's not where we're at. You can check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. You can hit us up at that email address.
Good times.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Let's see. Let's not open a doc I'm NDA'd on. Yeah, okay, there we go. Also, at Mayhem Show on the Twitter, if it still has us, I don't know. I got a bunch of interesting notifications this morning. Apparently, I'm spammy. I don't know. And Facebook, of course, check us out on our Facebook group. A lot of great discussion over there. Just like I saw, Maki Ito's coming to Defy, guys. I'm very excited about that. And also we do have a Wrestling Mayhem Show Discord and Reddit if you like to use those platforms. I don't know if anybody's using Reddit anymore, but whatever. And we're here live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. or so after the NXT overrun, so we can see what's going on with these Utes down there in Orlando. But programming note, this will actually, we are going to be moving the show to Wednesday, the July 5th, because it's July 4th, and you probably want to go see some boom booms in the sky, so we're going to let you guys do that and not make anybody try to watch a podcast. So we'll have fresh thoughts on AEW Dynamite next week, probably, with that, which I know Mike is very excited about.
Get ready for post-Dynamite Mike, y'all.
This could be very interesting, because we know what his deal is every week.
Incendiary,
but we are live. We are on the Facebook for the Wrestling Mayhem Show, as well as the YouTube, the Sorgatron Media Twitch, and IndyWrestling.us, YouTube, Twitch, and IndyWrestling.network. I will point out IndyWrestling.network has no ads if you are not a Facebooker, because I don't think you get ads over there either. But it is your ad-free experience over there live with us. And please, of course, hey, we're a podcast too, I guess, these days. So we're also patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Thank you, everybody that does support us over there. Our friends at the fan of the show level, Bo Diggity! Woo! As well as Ed Burke, Team Hammerfist, and Bobby F. J-Town. At the Poppy Club level, Dave Prop Pod Partner, spouse of Bruce Julia Fair at BruceJuliaFair.com, and Rats in a Trench Coat, Tony Kincaid. At the Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy and The Riz. And at the manager level, Bradley. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us and being a part of the patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Last week, Patreon supporters got our thoughts on the new Transformers movie, as well as was a Spider-Verse we talked about. What was the other movie last week?
The Flash.
The Flash. That's right. The Flash. Hey, shout out to Junie Underwood. I know I sent you that picture from Friday there, Mike. He's got a cool Batman Beyond tat on the back, and he did not watch The Flash, so I did not spoil the ending for him of that very special appearance.
Cameo, yeah.
That very special. Yeah, just I want
the King is back, baby.
The King is back. There you go. Speaking of Junie Underwood, give a shout out to. We'll give a shout out to our friends at 880 Wrestling. The David Lawless Bar Exam is available to watch on YouTube, Twitch, and IndyWrestling.network. Go check that out. We got 2 nights of the Soul Taker. I won't say his other name. Beastman and Brohemoth in a crazy match. Jack Pollock was back against our friend of the show from last week, Gianni, who got a Mayhem bump. He's now the 880 champion over there in New Ken. So please go check out all that stuff. All the matches for 880 Wrestling are free on our YouTube, on IndyWrestling.network. A lot of up-and-comers, and a lot of great people coming through that you usually don't see here in the Pittsburgh area for sure. So please go check out that and check out everything else going on IndyWrestling.us. What are you saying, Mike?
Sorg, we'll get into wrestling in a second, but did you hear who's rumored for Deadpool 3?
I did not hear the rumors. Is that what this show is now?
Speaking of, the King is back.
No.
Oh, no. Ben Affleck is Daredevil. That's the rumor. The King is back,
baby!
Give
me all of it. Give me all of it.
I cannot wait.
Well, this was a weekend of doors, whether wrestlers were going through them at indie shows or if they were just walking through it gently in Canada this weekend. I mean,
Canada's pretty laissez-faire about everything going on up there.
I don't know. I can't pinpoint the big story from this one. I don't know. But
It's a good thing Canada has free healthcare. That's the big story.
that's for sure. Definitely, I think most incredible match of the night was Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. But man, there was just so much more to it. I feel like than last year. I don't know because I didn't see last year on pay-per-view, so I don't know if the vibe was the same. But
I do have one. Like I haven't had a chance to watch all Forbidden Door yet.
yes.
I do want to say one negative thing before we get into the positive, which overall was a very positive show. I never, ever, ever, I don't care the circumstance or the situation. I never want to see a wrestler fake a seizure in the ring.
No, that was unfortunate. That was Brian.
I don't.
Yep.
I don't like that. Especially like I've said before on this show. Bryan Danielson matches are hard for me to watch because we know his history.
Mm-hmm.
Do not make it harder for people like me to watch who actually care about the person behind the on-screen characters, because that to me seems like you're tempting fate, and I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. That shit should not be in wrestling. I get, because it's the cheapest form of heat.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's the cheapest form of heat.
Oh, I can think of cheaper, but yes.
Well,
I get
yeah,
what you're saying.
but like the cheapest form of in-ring heat.
Okay.
Like it's, I don't care if you're doing it for a reaction. I don't care if you're playing possum. I don't care. Just don't fucking do it. Like it was such a good match up until that point.
Mhm.
And then afterwards, it completely takes you out of the match. It completely takes you out of the match.
Okay.
It's just
Well, okay. So we can agree with that thing, but I think the one interesting thing that came out of this, because the other scary point, legitimately scary and not a fake scary, was Kenny Omega taking a Tiger Driver, a very, very definitely on the top of his head Tiger Driver. Brian was asked about that, asking if he had any reaction to that given his history of injury, which led to interesting insight that he is very explicitly, as he's planning matches, apparently asking the doctors, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? To a certain point.
That's terrifying to me.
But so there is like an ongoing, thing that, there is an ongoing conversation about his health in relation to what he's doing. Now, then we also have a little update, because there was a report.
These are also the same doctors that cleared Matt Hardy to go after he banged his head on the concrete.
Did they clear him?
So
Did he get checked on in during that segment?
the match kept going.
The match kept going, but that doesn't mean the doctors checked him out. And I don't think
that doesn't mean they didn't, because they clearly didn't.
Mm-hmm. But even to follow up on that, he was reported to have a fractured arm as of the end of the night on Sunday. Brie Garcia, you may know her as a Bella, said, "Not sure."
Brie Danielson, I think is her legal name.
Okay.
Now.
Not sure whether to be proud or chastise him for wrestling 10 more minutes with this break. Definitely worse than we thought, because they did have x-rays. She posted the x-ray of the arm showing a pretty significant break in the middle. So, but again, that's the wrestler attitude, is to push on through the injury.
As someone who has broken both bones in their arm like that, we ain't going to be seeing Brian for a while.
No, he's going to be out for several months. I'm sure they'll include him. He's been pretty big in...
He's going to be the Henry Rowan Gardner of the BCC. It's just going to be like this.
Okay, so he's holding his arm up for you guys on audio. Henry...
It's okay. Henry Rowan Gardner is an audio cue for a visual gag.
Okay.
If you don't know Henry Rowan Gardner, get some fucking culture.
I'll say Google it, I guess. Henry, you said you watched Forbidden Door. Do you have any thoughts on the Bryan Danielson match?
So I thought the Bryan Danielson match was good. Mike, thanks for letting me come on the show. I had a different experience with the seizure moment. I get what you mean about the sensitivity of seizures, right? It actually made me pay attention more in the story that they were telling, because it became a part of the story in ring. So, but I totally get where people would be like, it's unnecessary. So I get that. Actually, from the show, my number one moment for me personally was Sting and Suzuki face to face, because it wasn't Hogan for me. It was Sting. I've been a little Stinger since I was like used to cry if he lost the belt to Flair. So like that moment for me was two of my worlds colliding. So it was really good. And good on AEW, because they found a way to let my 60-year-old parents watch Japanese wrestling. So
That's awesome. You tweeted about that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool. Yeah, they raised me on wrestling, like NWA and WCW, but like seeing them sit down for that was cool for me. So
what was the reaction to guys like Suzuki and Ospreay and Tanahashi and everything?
So my dad is an avid Warrior Wrestling guy, so he'll watch everything we put out. So he's really familiar with like Ospreay.
Oh yeah.
And he'll see clips. So he kind of knows the Japanese guys, just never really watched an event. My mom had no idea. So my mom's reacting to like MJF and like, cause she hates him. But then like they'll do crazy stuff. And like Ospreay did that whatever flippery do off the corner there. I don't know what the move's called, whatever. I'm not on commentary. And she was like, "Oh my god!" Like because she's not used to it. Like so, yeah. So they were reacting like in ways that were making me giggle as their kid, because we're used to the stuff, but like they're not. So anyway, it was fun.
Did they have a favorite?
I didn't ask, but mom really likes Jungle Boy, and she was pissed. Like, kayfabe's alive for mom, dude. So like, she's like, Jungle Boy, you son of a bitch. Like, she's like, I don't even know if I can swear. I've probably done it 20 times, but like,
yeah, no, we're good. You're good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, it was good. She's funny. She just makes me laugh. Even when they watch WWE, I don't most of the time. So like, I'll be in my room editing video, and I'll hear it because I live with my parents. Whatever, guys. It's not a basement room, so I'm not, a stereotype. But like, I'll hear my parents reacting from the other room, and it kind of warms my dark wrestling heart. So it's good.
That's awesome. I love the Japanese crossover show was the one that brought everybody in. That's really, really, really cool. And it doesn't help having Sting. It doesn't hurt having Sting there from those days, right? So to cross that over even more. Sorry, I hit my mute. Let's see. Anything else from that show that kind of really stuck out? I mean, it was just generally a fun show. I appreciate a lot of that. I love that we did get a very, 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 I would expect this match at Wrestle Kingdom kind of match with Ospreay and Omega. Scary Tiger Driver.
It might be All In.
What's that?
Might be at All In.
I think you have to, because you need a rubber match. I figured it would happen at Wrestle Kingdom, but it could happen at All In.
I think Wrestle Kingdom now might be the next Danielson Okada match.
Now with the injury, I could see that for sure.
I mean, 6 months sounds about right for the injury. Hopefully, provided there's no complications or anything like that. But yeah, that sounds about right. I heard that there was a plan that they wanted to do a best of 3, but that doesn't seem to be in the cards anymore. So.
No, but I mean, they could really extend that out, though. I mean, we got a lot to play with between everything that AEW does and New Japan. Like, it could happen at Wrestle Kingdom. It could happen at Dominion. Like, there's a lot of opportunity there, right?
By the way, Tony Khan should just stop trying to book Adam Cole for Forbidden Door.
It doesn't work out, does it?
It never works out. Just let him sit that show out.
The news was out for illness, but so we'll see what happens with that. I am excited for the lethal lottery thing that's going to happen between him and MJF.
Boy.
So, come on. It's a great old WCW concept. I love it.
It is. I wish they would have just explained a little bit, or like picked more than one team, because we only have the one team so far.
Yeah,
Like,
we pushed that forward, and everybody else was going to be like, "And we're going to do this and this." I didn't realize it was going to be Lethal Lottery. I thought we were just randomly picking teams for the tournament.
yeah,
So that was not.
because that's the weird thing about AEW. They have all the tag teams in the world.
Mhm.
They refuse to write actual stories for them.
Okay, agree to disagree. But
No, but like there hasn't been an actual tag team story in a while now.
you mean like guns and
I mean for the
Daddy Gun
championship.
for the
I mean for the
championship.
championships.
Okay.
Yeah, since FTR won, there hasn't been a single story for them.
Yeah, because they've been kind of between the CM Punk stuff and
The CM Punk stuff.
well, I mean, we're really kind of, and Henry, maybe you recognize this too. Like I'm watching Collision the last 2 weeks, and it feels very New Japan show with the 6-mans and the 3-mans mixed with, and this is the part I really enjoy, mixed with the old school Saturday Night Main Event, because when they started off with like the 8-man tag participants in the promos handing it off to each other, it felt very
Yeah, that was Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah,
all the
it
way.
felt
It's
so
also
main
cool.
event. It felt so Survivor Series to me, and I love that vibe. I hope they keep up with that kind of thing. Like we have the interview. It's time for the main event thing on Rampage thing. Henry, are you seeing that kind of like thing too? With like we're kind of like putting a lot of people on multi-mans to kind of push things forward.
Yeah, so I like Collision because it feels totally different than the other stuff. I was worried. I was like, are they going to be able to pull off another show? And I think that they put their best foot forward there. But yeah, I like the multi-man matches. I like seeing Brian Cage every week. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's the old Warrior champ. I'm going to say Warrior Wrestling as many times as possible. But I just in case Steve ever sees the clip, you know what I mean? But I think that it makes it feel a little bit different than some of the other shows, and it gives them time for like House of Black, which is hot and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm all for them working all the multi-man stuff in. It's cool.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure we'll have plenty of ideas. Anything else? Anything not those two main events that stuck out for you from Forbidden Door?
Willow.
Yes.
Willow is like, how do you not like her? Like, it's so awesome to see everybody responding. And that match, I felt like they gave it enough time. I was a little worried where they put it on the show, if they weren't going to get enough time to actually, because sometimes their matches are just not timed as well. And that match, I thought they both killed it, and it was really good. And Tony's on fire right now. I think as it's some of her best. It feels authentically her in a way that I haven't seen. Like, her promos never felt real for me, and I'm a promo guy. Like, you got to sell me on the mic.
Yeah.
I grew up with Stone Cold and Ric Flair screaming and The Rock. Like, you gotta get me on the mic. So
this better than you attitude she has right now with that accent just fucking crushes. I love it.
when she walked into the scrum, put her feet up and called everybody marks, whatever she said, I was like, yes, this is it. Like, anybody who've ever seen me on Twitter knows that I'm a guy who loves good heels, like real heels, like MJF and Frank the Clown. I'm gonna put my guy over. Are the only heels in wrestling right now. They're the only ones.
Yeah, Frank's a really.
I said what I said.
Really, really, really dedicated. I want to put this out in the world because hopefully there's some other video people out there. I have a wish that I see in other industries. I would love to see in this one, and tell me if somebody's doing this, please, and because I will subscribe to them. There's a great thing that happens with the tech industry that I follow. Every time Apple has an announcement, Samsung, Microsoft, Xbox, PlayStation, TheVerge.com does this great thing where they'll take their press conference and boil it down to like 8, 9, 10 minutes of like, here's the highlights. I want somebody to do that with the AEW media scrums, okay? And not just like, here's a clip of
Matt Carlins. Matt Carlins.
No, he's the
I'm
first.
sorry.
He's the first one I said this to, since he does work for a site that I think.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Very good for them to do that. If I had the time, I would do that, but I'm going to need like half a day to pull that thing off. And I'm tired, guys.
I know, like if you follow Denise Salcedo on Twitter,
Yes.
she does tweet like bites
Mm-hmm.
from the like it's not a full like
I
8
think
to 9
I
minute
think I shared a
thing,
couple
but,
words. Yeah.
but she does tweet like bites from the scrums.
Okay. I guess Twitter just kind of handles this for us, doesn't it? If you follow the right person. So okay. So
For the most
I
part,
need to know what my Scrum source is because I go back and like, oh, I'll watch it later, and it's like 2 hours, and I'm like,
A wretched hive of scrum and villainy.
yes. And show title. Okay, gonna put that down. Well, in the meantime, things that are not 2 hours of just scrumming around. Our friends over at IndyWrestling.us, go catch up with the wrestling world. Like we said, our friends at 880 Wrestling over there for free. No ads, no YouTube ads, no Twitch ads, none of the interruptions. You can go to IndyWrestling.network to check all of that out. And if you want to see the back catalogs for Rise Wrestling, for VCW, or as I like to call it, Beastman Pro, 2PW that just dropped the show, and RWA, we just dropped the show for them for this month too, which had a fantastic match with Christian Noir, friend of the show, with the Rev Ron Hunt, and so much more. And of course, hey, it's RWA, it's West Newton. This show ended in a big brawl that they broke stuff. Go figure. It must be that time of year. But go check it out, IndyWrestling.us, for everything else. If you need your DVDs, if you like your VODs and downloads, so you can put them on a video server or something, you can do that too. A lot of stuff going on there. Like I said, we just dropped the RWA show. We will have Rise Wrestling as soon as I can get to it. And, of course, the shows for June are going to come a lot quicker. Let's just put it that way. With at least one show, we are looking to do the VCW show live streaming on the network here in July. And so much more content coming soon to all of those platforms. And a lot of great matches on the YouTube page as well. Clips and full matches. So there's just a lot of content for you. And if you prefer YouTube to watch your big shows, there's also a membership option on there to check out Rise, VCW, TPW, RWA, full shows, full news shows. They drop when they drop on the network and VODs. So you can go check out all the stuff there. IndyWrestling.us. Henry Jasper is with us today, video professional. Let's get the full, like, what all do you do? I know you as a video guy. I know you as the social media guy. I made a crack in a meeting one time and realized I made an error. Do you remember that?
No, which one? Because I feel like those production meetings, there's at least one of us that, like, we all come to, like, me, you, Jeremy, whoever, Eric, we're just like on stage and we want to make jokes and crack on everybody.
I said something about, we can drop the social media card if I feel like it or something. And you're like, I take that personally.
Right, yes, yeah. I remember that. Well, it was in there 5 times.
Yeah. I'm just like, we can kill that if we need some time or something like that. So that's the other thing about Warrior. Warrior is such a living document with that truck sheet. That it's like, this is completely what we're going to do. We show up. It's like, Brian Cage is late at the airport. Well, I guess this is out the window, So
it's wrestling, man.
Yeah.
Just like me having equipment issues, and now I'm on my camera, and this doesn't represent anything to do with my podcast or any other projects that I do. I swear to God, it doesn't. I'm a
big asterisks right beside this presentation here.
Lower thirds, whatever. But yeah, I was saying something and I forget now.
What all do you do, Henry?
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm over caffeinated and undernourished. No, so I do some things outside of wrestling, but my main gig obviously is Warrior Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do for Warrior is post-production. So we actually, pulling back the curtain, we use Sorg and his services for live streaming our events to the world right now, mostly on YouTube. Before on Fight, wherever else we were, Pro Wrestling TV. But now I take his stuff, whatever cameras he gives me, and then add to it like Wrestling with Unicorns and Josh JPEG's footage and anybody else, me, whoever else shoots that night. And then we make everything you see online or any match packages, promos, stuff like that for the next show. We're putting all that together. So that's what I do. I also run the social media accounts, so I'm mostly behind the Twitter. So if I make fun of Frank the Clown, it's me. But yet I'm a fan of Frank the Clown, and I pull him at the curtain even more. People are exposing more and more that I'm always having a conversation with myself about Frank because I love him, and it's true. So there you go.
I love that. So I mean, how do when you're doing stuff at show, like this is the thing that kind of broadened my horizons when I started with you guys at Warrior Wrestling. The idea that there's the video production that's going out live or to tape or whatever it is, but then there's just like I remember if I started the first couple of shows, I'm like, who the hell are all these other people with video cameras, right? It was the first thing until I finally started seeing like how you guys were mixing things with social media, in my footage and all the footage like you just mentioned. Is this and now I see Defy does it. Now I see other companies. Now I saw New Japan does it. And I understand that those concepts a little bit more. Like I say, in the last 3 years, I've learned about like 60% of what I know about wrestling production, and I've been doing this for over a decade. Right, like it's been really kind of eye-opening for me for that kind of thing. Can you talk about the importance of that kind of like extra content that happens that's not the main show?
Yeah, so there's actually 2 reasons for it. Actually, the first one is Steve and Eric, president and vice president of Warrior. I think it's vice president, executive for production, whatever Uncle Eric does other than hug us. He's great, by the way. But so the first thing is part of the branding and the feel that we've all talked about that we want to present. There's my guy right there. Is what we want to do is so ECW back in the day, one of their production guys said that in a DVD somewhere, there's clips of Steve talking about this, but they had a philosophy: let's shoot it like we're shooting around stuff. We're going around a thing. It's not super smooth, shaky cam. They wanted to bring a certain feeling to it. And because Warrior's brand feels like a festival, we're really into like making it up close and personal. Sorg, you're a part of that, the way you do your thing. But like, we want to put that together. And my major goal when I'm releasing anything, a package, some type of clip, whatever, a highlight video, whatever we're doing, even something little like what you just showed with Frank, I want it to feel like you're there, because that's what I think the number one thing is about a Warrior show, is that we get off on the fans having an experience. And if I can have a video clip that represents that, that's the best marketing I can do. Now, social media tactic wise, we live in the days of GIFs, right? So any little thing that we can do to catch attention quickly, and then to hopefully get you to click through onto something and watch a longer piece, and then maybe buy a ticket or watch a live stream. That's the goal, right? So that's where we're at.
Absolutely. And this is you said something really important about like having that live vibe, because that's something I have struggled with. I have at least a couple of companies where I'm like the vibe in person is unparalleled, and I've struggled for years to make that come across on what we do in a multicam show. And that's exactly, you're speaking directly to what I've been trying to accomplish for 10 years, and it's such an amazing formula. So
I don't know who was holding this camera with this clip that we're looking at, but I believe that was Jen. It might not have been, but I believe that was Jen. But part of what makes it feel great is that sometimes TV production's a little too smooth. That's my opinion. What I like about our feel is she's following the action with the camera, and it's almost voyeuristic. You're looking through, see the shakiness there? Yeah, that's not perfect, and we could overanalyze that, but it's like the camera becomes your face, and if you were right next to the action, you would be doing this. And I like that personally. I know that Steve and Eric, again, have talked about that. So we just lean into it. One of my favorite things that I've ever done, and Trevor is hilarious, but Trevor Outlaw had a match with Mance Warner. I believe I just said his name right, but the footage, the stream was not working. We had to figure it out. One of those times our heads were sitting off our bodies, but because Warrior had 5 other cameras going at once, I even had a makeshift hard cam that night, which I've never done before. And I was able to piece back the match, but because I didn't have full commentary, I just music it, like put music to it. Oh my God. I made a music score like it was a movie. And then I just put in all these extra clips, and I've never seen pro wrestling produced that way. Like when I think cinematic, I think that's been represented one way, and like a action movie. And what this was more documentary of live event, like I forget what that wrestling Formula One on Netflix, like the way they do their feel. I don't know. In my head, my God complex is telling me that it was cool like that.
That's awesome.
Probably,
and that was one of the shows. I think that's when I was taking my sabbatical from Warrior. And you told me about it. I was like, what do you mean you like lost a match and had to reconstitute the damn thing, right? Like that's wild. And I love like it. And I watched some of it back, and I'm just like, this. You wouldn't tell me that there were production problems on that show, right? Like you couldn't tell me. It looked completely intentional the way that you had put it together.
Thank you. That was 2 weeks of my life to make that decision. And I'm not talking bad about anybody. I believe Mike was helping us out. Mike, they tried. They were doing their thing. They got it back up. It was only one match. So it was fine after that. But yeah, because like I said, because intentionally now, but for a certain amount of time, we just happen to have so many cameras to play with. We're like, if there was an issue like we did have that night, I could make up for it by bringing in camera audio and stuff. And some of it was a little choppy, but we tried. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're an indie show, but we're one of those ones that really care, and we're putting money into it, and we're trying to put our best foot forward. So I appreciate when guys like you are like, that actually presented better than I thought it was going to, because I'm like, okay, good, I sweated that one out. So
yeah. And again, you'll not be in there and not seeing it live, not knowing what it looked like before, and then like just seeing your presentation. And I love that even like you guys like kind of pivoted and said, hey, here's the, what do you call it, like extended edition or something like that, when you were representing them on Pro Wrestling TV.
Yeah, so that was like a special thing that we were doing for them, because we were going live, but we wanted something to be honest with you, to market to the live audience or to the post audience, to bring them in to watch the replay, because some of them might have been repeat, but we wanted something special. Like, here's some behind the scenes. Here's more of a rawer feel than you might have gotten live. When it's live, it's a sporting event, and we try to present it that way. But then that extended feel is more of our like, let's get nitty gritty and bring you up close and personal. So to get as close to that live experience as possible.
And that brings you over to like, I feel like you're bridging over into this like NFL films, like, you know, I was watching a lot of pre-show stuff sitting at a restaurant for UFC a couple weeks ago, you know, and like it's just like presentation and documentary and interview and clips of matches in that different angle thing. Like I feel like you're kind of more. It feels like you're more approaching what you expect on TV going into this. I mean, look at the countdown shows that are almost YouTube exclusive that AEW does for all our stuff, right?
Dude. So when I look at two things happen to me. When I watch WWE's presentation and how they do their thing, I look at my match packages and I go, I thought I was having an emotional response to this, but then I see WWE's team and I go, I'm a child. I don't know what I'm doing. And then when I watch AEW stuff, it's their road twos, it's their countdown shows. Yes. I actually think AEW in my brain does that very closely to UFC.
Yes.
And I look at and I'm like, okay, how do I approach this tactic of presenting it but still hold true to like the Warrior brand
Mhm.
and make it not the same thing. Because what I don't want to be is AEW light. And I hope that we're doing that. But yeah, so that was kind of a brainchild of me and Steve just having a lot of talks about like, I told him straight up, like, I want to present it like we're TV ready or streaming service ready.
Mhm.
And because maybe one day we'll get somebody who's willing to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Names right now, but I'm not going to because I don't have permission to do that. And then this clip will be out there forever and I'll get fired. I already can't spell on the Twitter, so you know.
You're not the first. We've had that problem too. I'm it's usually me. So yeah.
I lean into it now because you're not getting my $8, Elon. You're not getting it.
Nope.
I'm not doing
Nope.
it.
Nope.
I'm not. I'm just like, whatever. Here's an asterisk. You know what I meant. Like,
Yes.
I'm done.
Yes.
So
I am very familiar with that. No, it's been a lot of fun. Like I said, I credit Warrior Wrestling with a lot of education. Work with you guys out there. Work with Rich Bikini out there. Learning what a truck sheet was just mind blowing for me, and I've been bringing that to other promotions and other industries. I showed a truck sheet to an MMA company one time, and they're like, we want to use this with all of our shows and all of our clients. It's just like, what, really?
yeah,
You know?
shout out to Brian and to Rich for doing
Absolutely.
sports every show. They put a lot of work into that, and it's like smooth, but like nobody realizes how much work that actually is. But I've heard a million times based off of our production, like talent, other commentators that we've just brought in, where they're like, nobody else is doing this.
Yeah.
Like you guys are actually taking this pretty seriously.
I can verify that. I've not Warrior Wrestling. I will say this. I've said this multiple times, probably on this show. I say this a lot in production discussions. Warrior Wrestling is the most complicated production of any level that I do.
Right.
Period. Like
that's awesome. I also feel like I feel that because I get 10, 15 people's stuff, and now it's like, and then sometimes I'll get feedback like, you didn't use all my pictures, and it's like, yeah, okay, well, guy, I'm gonna be straight up with you. If you're not Tussle and you're not cameraman gimmick and you're not as good at them, like if your stuff doesn't look like a comic book, like camera guy stuff, get better. If you're not Josh Photos or JPEG Josh Photos and you're not like killing it the way he's doing it for us, then like, yeah, you come to the show, you can shoot, but if they're just photos, they're just photos. You know what I mean? So like, yeah. Like, anyways, I got off on a tangent there, but I want to put my guys over because they're doing great.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of great stuff. You got a new project coming up that I'm very excited for. It speaks to me, and I can't wait to listen to this. Tell people about the new podcast.
Yeah, so it's the Pro Wrestling Production Podcast. Great, unique name.
Talk about a niche.
That's right. So what we're doing is we're saying that it's for us, by us. In other words, anybody that's not on air talent, if you help put on a live event, if you're involved in pro wrestling, then it's you. Guys like Sorg, who I don't technically direct, produce, whatever you want to call it, and help us get our product out there. Guys like me who are doing post-production or social, from ring crews to everybody. If you help, we want to interview you. We want to know what brings you to the table. So like, we kicked it off with Steve and got his from Warrior, got his perspective on like things like what goes into his thought process as a promoter to like get services from people like in production when they're going to hire you. What would get you hired at like Warrior or something like that. And then we just wrapped up tonight before this with Tussle, who's a photographer for Wrestle Revolver and helps us, New Japan, everywhere. Does a lot of stuff, and he's great. And so that's Rich is coming on. Sorg, we already got the yes from you, so breaking right now on your show. You'll be on for ours, and those are the guys and girls, obviously, that we want to talk to. And yeah, I'm excited because I feel like everybody else is covered. Every other podcast in wrestling is happening, and not to take anything away from on-air talent, they are the draw. We all get paid because thanks for the house and all that good stuff. But we platform them and we amplify it to the world, and we tell good stories. And I want everybody to know those people. So
Absolutely. I think that's I've had over the years people come up to me and say, how do I get into this? And I was like, show up, be around, and we try to work them in. We're obviously trying to be more tactful with that lately on our end, because how do you get new talent? How do you throw people? You can't just throw people at a big show like Warrior and hope for the best. Sometimes you have to. But but yeah, no, I think for anybody that wants to get into this kind of production, and I've also said this, at least on the video production side of things. I use wrestling video production as a litmus test. It gives, like I said, Warrior is the most complicated show that I do, technically. And I've done MMA shows, I've done boxing shows, I've literally did a big ceremony at General Motors headquarters a few weeks ago in Detroit. And Warrior's still the most complicated, right? I think anybody that's involved in pro wrestling production and have done it for a little bit has more ability to think on their feet, react to things, and therefore will be better at just about any live video production imaginable, right?
100%. Yeah, I totally agree. You have to, because half the time you're floating on your feet, especially if you're ringside, like in any form, like roaming cameras, whatever. Yeah, and then there's guys like you or the person next to you who's hitting the switch between cameras, and I don't think anybody understands that. There's a guy going, and camera 1, 3, 2, go. All right, get ready for camera 4. And we're all sweating every minute.
Oh my God, where's that guy at? Wait, he's jumping from what? Like that kind of thing. Let me know how you keep your head straight when you have about 6 luchadors jumping around the entire arena. It's that kind of thing.
And I mean, it's all one take.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't get redos at this kind of stuff. So when you people will get on AEW for missing spots and stuff like that.
Hell, even WWE,
of course,
stuff. Yeah.
Edge's big return from retirement. Now, always remember this. We see Edge coming out. You see him coming down the ramp at the Rumble. They miss his first spear.
Yep.
I don't know how you do that, but everyone screws up.
I know exactly how they did that. But yeah.
They're getting a crowd reaction, and I don't think they expected Edge to slide in that quickly and immediately hit a spear.
Yes, I will not get into that without getting into video philosophy. But but no, exactly. No, for me, it's like you have Henry. I tell you, after every Warrior show, there's one thing I'm mad at myself about. There's at least one thing I'm mad at myself about for something we pulled off, something that didn't pan out right, something I miscued, and then I will go watch any program and find a miscue on primetime television and be like, okay, I'm fine. This is okay. So,
speaking of that, you're fine, by the way. I've seen probably more hours of sword produced stuff than the rest of them, and it's very rarely and stop. So secondly, piggybacking on all of that, one of my favorite Warrior moments was when you guys you're wired in. So we're at 27 in Indiana. God, the people in Indiana right now at Bendix Arena, it's our favorite thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, South Bend. I love that place.
Warhorse and Tankman decide to go through the crowd,
God.
up and around the bar, and Frank's on commentary, Frank the Clown, and he's bad-mouthing how we can't afford the right cameras to follow people around. Little does he know, we have a camera guy, one of Martin, is following him from behind. Tussle's in the bar already. I just so happen to be getting B-roll of commentary, so I turn around with my cell phone and get the shot of them coming out of the bar. And then we ended up being able to, in the extended version, having Frank as a heel bad-mouthing us. and then me actually putting in footage to make him look like an idiot. And it was
we're getting
one of my favorite things
we're
that's
getting
ever happened.
crowd pans, and he says this looks like WCW Thunder right now.
100%. Yep.
Oh
yeah.
my
I
god!
loved it.
Like
Perfect.
him and Dabrowski's trying to cover for it and everything, and it was just nuts. I need to see that footage. I need to go watch that match back because I was so mad. I was so pissed off about that.
Yeah, because I can imagine I didn't hear the commentary till afterwards. So
Yeah.
I'm adding and like big pop, right?
Yeah.
But I can imagine you going, because you got the commentary in your ear. You hear Frank trolling you. You're the guy he's trolling. And it's just like so funny. So good. Yeah, that's the kind of scene stuff that like Frank was actually talking shit to you.
Yes.
And you had to sweat it out. And people don't know what that feels like. It's entertaining for the viewer, but not necessarily for the guy in your seat. So
Yep. This is why I take a weed gummy every night. Okay. Anyways. So where can people check out the podcast?
yeah, so the best place right now is you can watch it on YouTube. It's the only place to see it or hear it right now. We're starting small there. And then on Twitter. So our Twitter is at PW Production. And follow us there. Shout out again to my co-hosts. They're the guys that everybody knows, but Wrestling with Unicorns, Martin, and then Nick, Camera Guy Gimmick. They're the draw. I just do all the work, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Somebody had to do it. So it's like you and Mike, right? Mike's the draw, and then I don't know. I'm just saying things.
I don't know if I'm the draw.
I don't know what the draw is here. I don't know what. If you're not the draw and then I'm not the draw, then who's the draw?
The Mayhem is the draw.
They're just hoping Dutters comes back, I guess. Anyways, thank you so much. Go check that out. And again, Warrior Wrestling is going to be live for free on YouTube this Friday night on the Warrior Wrestling YouTube. In the meantime, they're dropping a lot of the Saturday night and Friday night Stadium Series from the last couple years. I started with Warrior on the Stadium Series in a torrential downpour. And somehow I came back. So back in 2020. So go check out all that kind of stuff. Warriors got great stuff going on, and you guys enjoy the show Friday night. I'm sure nothing will go wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's live on YouTube if Sorn does his job right.
And
so...
I'm seeing. Whoa! Oh my God. Yeah, hey, we just have a giant extension cord going to about the 30-yard line of a football field. What could go wrong, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till like 5 minutes at a time and start asking you for gig tape. That's what I'm gonna do.
You wait till you hear my production demands in the meeting tomorrow.
Green M&M.
No, it's a tent. I want a tent. I don't give a crap. I want a tent. I'm bringing my own power supply. I got my own backup internet because everything else is about 300 yards of whatever. I don't know where it goes.
A tent full of green M&Ms.
Walking back after a show that's live on Fight, and you see the plug that was powering your entire setup hanging out in the field house by a prong, and you're just like, huh. Okay, sure.
You're just like, Godspeed, little doodle.
Yep, that wouldn't have been a problem. Anyways, you know what you don't need an extension cord for? Our good friends at Slice on Broadway, New York City style. Yins are made. I don't know how many locations in the Pittsburgh area at this point. They got another one opening up in Robinson out by the airport now. I think it's like they're up to 6 now, maybe. Jeez. Well, we got the OG, the original, right up the street here in the Beachview neighborhood, right on Broadway. And we do appreciate them for still supporting the show. Thank you guys so much. And anybody that does come around Pittsburgh, they do. I get a text that they're going to Slice on Broadway, and I do appreciate you supporting those that support us, that have been supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza for well over a decade. Thank you so much. SliceOnBroadway.com. And we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to talk about Money in the Bank, Pounds in the Bank. I don't know. We're going to figure out the conversion rate after this.
2PW's top guy, I'll say, the country hammer, Jamie Jamison. Otis Cogar is here in 2PW, the evil incarnate himself. Oh, another one. Cannonball! Oh, Cannonball! Otis invented this style. Cogar now in control of each other, but running him into the, right into the chin. The top guy here in 2PW. He just smashed the top guy. Hammer really has him up and Olympic slam. He come to close the chapter. And again, like a 2x4. Wrapped in barbed wire. That's his straight razor. Cogar special delivered. Okay. Those are tacks. Fans back up from this. That's $1. Back body drop onto the tacks. As a DVD through the chairs. We just witnessed probably one of the most brutal matches in history. Jamie Jamison is a brutal son of a bitch.
We are back. Wrestling Mayhem show. We got, of course, the maddest of mics here.
Hi, Sorg.
Maybe he's the draw. I don't know. Chime in.
I don't know.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Who's the draw and why? I want a 300-word essay. Also, production extraordinaire with Warrior Wrestling, etc. Henry Jasper and his new podcast.
Hey guys,
Yes,
buddy. Mike is the draw. Buy the T-shirt or whatever.
We go back to that thing where we had the T-shirts with all of our faces huge on them back in the day. Anybody only bought a Doc Remedy one. So, anyways,
And I never got one of those.
no, I don't think you were around for that era. That was the
Sorg, I was around for all eras. I was messaging you guys on MySpace.
Were you? Yeah, that is MySpace. Were you there when we were warring with the Disney podcast kid that was on the same platform as us in 06?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Huh.
Yeah, like I legit started listening to this podcast. I think you guys were 3 episodes in.
Oh God,
and then I just like I listened to the first 2, and now I'm like, all right.
Yep. Here's the tip: you will hate your first episode when you go back later.
Oh
So,
yeah,
yeah,
oh,
you
no,
know,
yeah,
it's not nice. It's not
It was
nice
a
at
different
all.
time.
It was a different time.
It's like if you watch episodes of Friends now, and you realize, ooh, there's a lot of problematic stuff in this.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So
8 o'clock on Thursday sitcom.
it's just like the same with podcasting, but just a lot less people watching. Anyways, hey, Money in the Bank is this weekend. Before we get in our trouble,
Money with the bank, shawty, what you drink? I got money in the bank, shawty, what you drink?
What is happening right now?
That's from one of the old video games.
They are in London.
This is what people show up for, Sorg, is to watch him dance and sing songs.
Yes.
That's why we're
Oh my God, I'm Dancing Pete from The Simpsons. That's Dancing Pete. He dances for nickels. Oh,
That's about right here on the show.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that win.
Okay, Money in the Bank this weekend. We got a Bloodline Civil War, the best storyline in all of professional wrestling.
Yes.
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 I mean,
categorically.
The Bucks and Kenny Omega agree. So
Other than Frank the Clown in the last 3 years at Warrior Wrestling. Yes, greatest storyline in wrestling. So
absolutely. So oh my God, I forgot we have Cody Rhodes and Dominic as a match.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I love
Dirty
Dominic.
Dom, baby.
Love
Dirty
it.
Dom.
Oh jeez. So Mike, what am I? You
Sorry,
are,
I got the card.
okay? You got the
the
card.
card.
What am I looking at here?
All right, so you already mentioned we got the Bloodline Civil War, which is gonna be wild.
Mhm.
I'm very excited for it. I'm also very excited not this coming weekend, for SmackDown, because SmackDown's also in the UK, and SmackDown this week is gonna be massive because we got Charlotte versus Asuka, and KO and Sammy versus the Pretty deadly.
Zoom killed that one. So
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, boy. How about that?
yes,
Little spooky fingers.
spooky fingers.
But
yes.
but yeah. So this SmackDown's also gonna be big too. But also next week I'm gonna be at SmackDown.
Ooh.
Very excited. But anyway, so the Money in the Bank card, we got the Bloodline Civil War. We got Cody versus Dirty Ex-Con Dom, as we've talked about. We have for the Intercontinental Championship, Gunther the Ring General versus Matt Riddle. We have for the Women's Tag Team Championship, Ronda and Shayna versus Liv and Raquel. Liv back from injury, I think, way quicker than people expected. Otherwise, why would they have had to drop the titles in the first place? But anyway, 4 is the World Heavyweight Championship. We got Seth Franken Rollins versus Finn Balor.
Which has been an amazing build for that match.
Oh, the promo Finn had on Monday was fantastic. Like, it was. If you haven't seen the promo Finn did on Raw, he just explains everything, and he almost comes off as the face.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really good. And we have the 2 Pound in the Bank ladder matches. For the women's, we have Zelina, Becky, Zoe, Bailey, Io, and Trish Stratus, who's never been in a ladder match before, so this should be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And for the men, we have Ricochet, Nakamura, LA Knight, Santos, Butch, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul. So both those matches are going to be crazy.
Yeah.
LA Knight wins or we riot. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Who?
LA Knight or whatever. Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Whatever. That guy, love him. He's a throwback in every way possible, and people get over it. The guy's over. Just let it happen. Like, it's great.
Honestly, I'd be okay with anyone in the men's Money in the Bank match winning except for Logan Paul.
Right. Yes.
I'd be okay. Like, Ricochet, sure. Nakamura, sure. LA Knight, yeah. Santos, sure. Butch, sure. Damian, obviously, yeah. Anyone but Logan Paul.
And-
And I love that this men's Money in the Bank match, no former world champions. Nope. In WWE,
Well, no.
Right.
Shinsuke.
Shin never won. He won the NXT title.
I swear Shinsuke had the WWE belt for a moment.
No. We all thought he should have.
Oh,
He did
okay.
not.
Oh, that was a fever dream. I got you.
Yeah,
Uh,
the feud of AJ Styles.
I got
Definitely should have at one point, but he did not. And I think I tried to do research on this. I think this might be the first Money in the Bank match with no former WWE champions in it.
Fantastic.
I think this might be the first one because I looked all the way back and there's always like a Jericho or a Kane or a Punk or someone that pops up that had it before. Like and all the other guys could have been not former world champions, but there's always like one guy that pops up. It's usually Kane
Mm-hmm.
that pops up in those matches. But yeah, I think this might be the first one that has no former world champions in it.
Nice. It's gonna be a hot show. It's 3 p.m. Eastern. What is that? 2 p.m. Central out there.
2 p.m. in the good old Chicago.
Oh,
you
good.
know?
Good. If there's any place, a good place in Chicago to watch on Saturday, let me know. So we get it a little bit earlier. What is that? What is that for you guys on the West Coast? That's a nooner for you.
That's a nooner.
That's a nooner for Tina and the Alexes out there.
It's a nice lunchtime pay-per-view.
There you go. Yeah, have a sandwich and watch the
have
show.
some avocado toast and watch some Pound in the Bank.
Some pounds in the bank. I love it. No, I think it's gonna be a fun show. I mean, just the WWE stuff's been on fire lately. Was the news out last week that we're getting a Pittsburgh pay-per-view again?
Yep.
I can't remember. Did we talk about that on the show?
I showed up late last week, so you guys might have
We
talked
probably
about it,
did. So
yeah.
so Pittsburgh is out of the doghouse. Get your counting out of your. There will be no clocks on this show. I guarantee there will be no clocks on this show because we ruined clocks for the town of Pittsburgh.
And also, there will be no Rey Mysterio.
No Rey Mysterio. Oh, come on! They need to bring back Rey Mysterio and Batista so the crowd can collectively say we are sorry.
To be fair, it's not the real Rey Mysterio.
What do you mean it's not the real Rey Mysterio? Wait, is this like the Ultimate Warrior theory?
Sword. We're on our third Rey Mysterio. You
What?
realize that, right?
What are
Well,
you
the first one left WWE for a bit,
yes.
got tied up in a dungeon somewhere. I don't know where that possibly could have been, and then left for dead.
Somewhere in Boyle Heights. Yes.
Somewhere in Boyle Heights, there is a skeleton with a luchador mask on it, just hanging in a chamber somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So when WWE wanted to bring him back, they had to find someone who, they made him get all the same tattoos.
Wait. Could this be?
But then they threw that motherfucker off the roof
yeah.
after they took his eye.
Yeah. Yep.
This third guy, like the guy that fought Dominic, that guy, his name is actually Rey Mysterio, R-A-Y. So, they can still promote it. But, yeah, we're on our third Rey Mysterio song.
Or is this across the Mysterio verse?
Oh, fuck. Oh, God, you might be right. Okay. All right. It might be the Mysterio verse. Wait, does that mean we're going to eventually get Rey Mysterio? That's a joke, right? That's a joke for anyone who's seen the movie.
Oh boy.
You remember that, Sorg? Mysterio?
I don't remember the moose.
Mysterio is the villain of Spider-Ham.
Oh my god.
It's Mysterio that looks like a moose.
I love Spider-Ham. Spider-Ham is my favorite.
Yes.
For sure.
Oh yes, I have a couple Spider-Ham books. The OG Stars Comics ones. Man.
Hey, Ronnie Stark's in the chat room.
Whoa!
Did he realize what day it was? Wow. Good for Ronnie.
Good for Ronnie. On that note, guys, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
We're not going to do predictions on Money in the Bank.
I don't know.
You didn't predict anything, Sorg.
I predict it's going to be a good show.
Oh,
And
come on. Sorg,
And
Draw a line in the sand. Pick a goddamn winner.
All right. Give me Nakamura.
Okay.
Give me
And for the women's?
Nakamura and give me Io.
Ooh, I like it.
That's
okay.
My picks.
I'm going LA Knight, and I don't know why I feel like Trish has it.
Okay. All right. Henry, you got any picks for this?
Oh, I would love for both of those same picks that Mike just said.
Okay.
That would make my night. I don't watch religiously, so not knowing anything that's going on right now, that's where I'm at.
Honestly, if you're not fully caught up on the Bloodline Civil War, watch all the Bloodline stuff.
Yeah, I've been all of it through Twitter. And the last time I really watched was Mania, and I had to go back and rewatch some stuff to get really caught up. I thought it was excellent, but yeah, I'm busy. That's my only thing.
I would definitely watch the match from the last pay-per-view, whose name escapes me right now. But the turn on Roman was mind-blowingly good. It's been so good. Everything about it, like I wasn't sure if they'd be able to keep this momentum going without Sammy and Kevin in it. God, they've proven me wrong so much.
So good. Excellent. Now can I learn things?
I guess.
Can we learn things?
I guess we can learn things.
Okay. What'd you learn from wrestling, Mike?
God, of course you're starting with me. I I learned that CM Punk doesn't know the difference between lies and opinions.
Okay. I got you.
CM Punk always, because I didn't get a chance to really talk about CM Punk's first return.
Because he came late last week, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, tell me when I'm telling lies. Where do I fucking start? CM Punk has never sold out Madison Square Garden by himself. He's never sold out the Budokan by himself. He just hasn't. He said he did. You know who can claim to sell out Madison Square Garden by himself? Bruno Sammartino. That's who can claim it.
And Jay White.
Debatable. Debatable on Jay White.
Okay.
But just I did appreciate that once we're away from Chicago, CM Punk got a I'd be so bold as to call it mixed reaction.
And wearing a Bret Hart inspired shirt.
Yep. And still doesn't help. Still doesn't help. I hope this goes okay for them. I think right now CM Punk is no longer a pipe bomb. He is a time bomb, and we're just waiting for it to go off.
Okay. All right. I'm interested to see where they go with this. Henry, what'd you learn from wrestling lately?
So mine's not going to be about TV or anything else. I'm going to do it like inside baseball. So I was really excited for the podcast interview with Tusslemania that we just did. And the reason why is that, and I've told him this directly to his face multiple times, he challenges me to think about self-promotion more. I know this is weird, but it's an answer to your question. It is in wrestling because I am.
That's fine.
But like, he's not shy about wearing his brand or whatever and putting himself over. And I live somewhere between imposter syndrome and God complex, and he challenges me personally. So like, I just shout out Tussle. Thanks for being a good guy, and also like the fam. I'm reminded constantly that this thing that we do, wrestling, all the way up the chain, all the way down, we all fall in love with it. And yeah, I'm just reminded almost weekly that like it's a family. And so anyways, that's a weird philosophical answer. So
no, I'm feeling that vibe too. That's a big thing when you get into this kind of thing. Like they talk about the wrestlers in that thing, but like going to Chicago and knowing like, you know, seeing all the familiar faces in like towns across the country doing these kinds of shows is just fucking fantastic. right?
And then we get paid too.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, cool.
Exactly. So, things I learned this week. I learned, Mike, you know how Christian Noir I've been concerned with having a live stream
Mhm.
for like years at this
Yeah.
point?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Well, guess what I got two times last week?
Oh boy.
The Soul Taker.
Oh boy.
And on the second night, he used his other name.
That's not exactly what you want to hear.
Well, not when I'm the one doing the stream. So, and now granted, Missy was directing that night, did a fantastic job. I was out in the crowd of the camera, and I'm just like, well, there goes the YouTube monetization. So,
You'd be surprised. YouTube is a cesspool these days.
well, yeah, it wasn't in the first 30 seconds, so I guess we're safe.
Oh well, whatever.
So, and also, if we live stream, make sure your song doesn't take us off YouTube. So, first rule, I call this the Brandon K rule. No AC/DC, okay? Second rule, whatever Beastman came out to. So, no, I got some notifications, so I did the old clip out because I thought both of them were covers that the band played at intermission, and apparently I deleted the Beastman's introduction because I got a text. Why is my intro gone? And I was like, oh, sorry, man, you got me knocked off YouTube, so we got to fix this. So, but if you want to see unedited versions of any of those shows, go to IndyWrestling.network. You got them over there. So. Anyways,
YouTube always flags Frank's, and I have to mute it. So I think it's a weird way that Warriors brand gets to kind of troll Frank. So he's gotten YouTube chats before during premieres and been like, "Where's my song?" or whatever. It's perfect.
you could replace it with something goofy.
May I make a recommendation?
Go for it.
Just throw in Doink the Clown's music.
I don't know if we can cover that either. I'm pretty sure that's not a replaceable.
No, but I
then
thought,
WWE's gonna tag us.
No, but I thought Doink's music was like fair use, just clown music.
We'll look into it. I'm gonna have to.
The media department's gonna look into it.
Because it's like the Hardy Boys music. Like the Hardy Boys music was fair use.
Well, it's fair use, but fair use doesn't mean it's not going to get tagged and demonetized necessarily.
Go back and log that I use WWE stuff.
Okay, well, all right. Well, failing that, just get a slide whistle and just do.
I think I got that clip over here.
Just for the whole entrance.
I think that's a longer conversation probably for Henry's podcast. Guys, I'm going to use this as a classified section. First of all, I'm still trying to sell my SummerSlam tickets. I'm still going, but I have an extra pair because my wife and I were not good communicators for a day when they went on sale. So I have an extra pair very close to the entrance. Hit me up at Sorgatron on Twitter. Hit me in the DMs, please, if you're interested. I'm just looking for face value, and I don't even think you can get them for that anymore. So, and they're still available. A lot of people inquiring and said, I'll get back to you, bro. And I was like, if they're still here. And also, if you would like to get into video production and you're in the greater Pittsburgh area, hit me up as well. We are looking to train people Thursday nights at Thursday Night Fights with T2T Wrestling Academy Pittsburgh and 880 Wrestling. We have onboarded at least 2 regular videographers since February. And kind of brushed up the skills on a couple more that we've been using for some other shows. The Riz has become quite the videographer over the last several months, and also he's been helping with production on the graphics side and streaming side too. So it's not just video ops. We are looking for people to help with the back end video production behind the curtain. So if you're interested in that, also hit up if you want to hit up Good Times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com or at Sorgatron on the Twitter, DM me or wherever. If you know me from other social medias, I'll answer that too. And we got a little sign up form and stuff. We can have a conversation about that. We are kicking back off on July 6th we're taking a week off here between the holiday and the fact that David Lawless has legally acquired 880 Wrestling, so we're going to go sort out all that legalese. There's a whole thing with that. Hit me up on that. And Henry, thank you so much. One more time, where can people go check out your stuff?
So it's either PW Production or Pro W Production. I forget. We're on Twitter. Whatever. Just go to Mayhem and then you'll find us. There's a tweet. But anybody on this live stream is watching right now. If you are in the Chicagoland area, you want free tickets to Warrior. If you go on the Warriors Twitter, we're giving away a pair of tickets. I haven't pulled a name yet. It says we already did, but I've been doing this. So we haven't done it yet. And if you can come to the show, go retweet the thing, and then we'll do a drawing. So that's going to be happening right now. So
there you go. And then Mad Mike 4883 on the tweets. He has opinions.
Yeah. Oh, I sure do.
And a regular reminder line to Tony Khan.
And also, Sorg, Fight Forever is downloaded on my PS5.
Yes.
Getting ready for it. And did you hear the thing that is not announced yet, but it looks like it's going to be announced? Stadium Stampede.
Riding on a damn horse.
Yep. I'm going to hit people with a motherfucking golf cart. It's going to be great.
Fantastic. I'm going to run over Sammy Guevara so many times. Oh, my God. I am going to run over Sammy Guevara so many times with a golf cart and a horse and whatever else I can find. I'll blow up in up and ring. Oh, my God. I can take out all my frustration on Sammy Guevara in this game. Oh, finally. This is worth the money.
Sorg, you can create your own Bobby Fish just to destroy him.
I could do that in WWE. Well, okay. Yeah, true.
Oh, and in WWE 2K, I figured out how to throw someone through the spotlight.
Really?
Yes, and the first person I did that to, Lacey Evans. Well, sometimes it just bees like that.
So, anybody you don't like in wrestling?
Oh yeah, just throw them through a fucking spotlight. It feels great.
Feels great.
Feels real good.
Wow. That should be a tweet line.
Goddamn spotlight.
Who do you want to hit with a golf cart in Fight Forever? Let us know at Mayhem Show on Twitter. Guys, thank you so much. This has been a blast. We'll be back next week on the 5th. Happy 4th of July, everybody, because it's on a damn Tuesday. Go see the boom booms in the air in the sky, and we'll see you Wednesday night after the Dynamite, after fireworks and the fights. We'll see you guys then. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.